So, we've all heard the epic tales of how worlds end, right? But what about what happens after? That's what we're jumping into today. We're going to look at a side of Norse myth you might not know so well. A story that isn't about the big, flashy battles of gods and giants. Nope, this is about the quiet, unsung heroes who literally rebuilt the world from scratch.
Ragnarok. I mean, just the name itself sends a shiver down your spine, doesn't it? The twilight of the gods. But this wasn't just some big battle. It was the end of everything, the great unmaking. This massive, prophesied storm of fire and ice just ripped the entire cosmos apart. The whole world, all the gods, all their ancient enemies, the giants, all of it just gone, swallowed up, leaving nothing but this profound, aching silence.
So that begs the question, right? When everything is gone, what's next? Is that it? Game over? Or does life somehow find a way to start over? Well, the answer is pretty amazing, and it's not what you'd expect. It doesn't come from some dramatic return of the surviving gods. It comes from the quiet, steady, almost invisible work of some of the world's most ancient and most overlooked beings.
All right, so after the final battle, a sanctuary in the silence. It sounds poetic, but it's literal, because right in the middle of all that cosmic chaos and destruction, one thing actually survived: Yggdrasil, the world tree. Think of it as this immense pillar holding reality together. And its branches, they became the ultimate refuge, a safe harbor from the storm, protecting the tiny, precious seeds of a new world, just waiting for the chaos to finally die down.
And tucked away inside this incredible sanctuary were the survivors. You've got two humans, Leif and Leif Prasir, who are basically destined to be the Adam and Eve of this new world. But here's the thing. They weren't the only ones in there, not by a long shot. They were surrounded by all these unseen entities. The spirits of nature, the hidden folk. They'd ridden out the storm too, and they were about to become the unsung architects of everything that came next. This brings us to our main characters for today, the Gardeners of Light, the ones who started weaving a new earth. And who are they? Well, they were the light elves of Alfheimr. While the few gods who survived were kind of sitting around, mourning what was lost, trying to figure out what to do next, the elves, they were already getting their hands dirty. They were out there, weaving life back into this dead, barren land. Their magic was literally the first breath of this brand new world. And this is super cool. Their very name, Elf, tells you everything you need to know about them. It traces back to this really old Proto-Indo-European root, alb, which means shining or white. So they are, by their very definition, beings of light. And it was exactly that radiant, shining essence that they used to put a broken world back together. And I want to be clear, this isn't just some pretty metaphor. No way. The elves' shining was a real, tangible thing. It was a physical force, an energy they poured into the world. You could see it. It was the dew glinting on the leaves in the morning. It was the pure, clean sunlight from a younger sun. It was the impossible green of the grass that started growing over the old world scars. And get this, that's the same grass where the new gods would later find the golden chess pieces of their ancestors. The elves were quite literally painting the new world into existence with light. So you see, they weren't warriors, they were weavers. They weren't kings, they were gardeners. Their power wasn't found in a sword, but in a seed. They were the silent architects, the metaphysical gardeners, making sure that the cycle of life kept going, that it remained unbroken. They were the quiet, steady heartbeat of the world, this subtle but absolutely essential force, proving that even when faced with total annihilation, life finds a way. Okay, so we have the Gardeners of Light, but for a world to be truly whole, to be truly reborn, you need balance. You just do. For every bit of light, there has to be a shadow. For every little sprout reaching for the sun, there's got to be a root digging down into the dark. And that's where we're going now, deep into the earth, to find the smiths in the stone, the other crucial half of this whole rebirth story. Think about this. After Ragnarok, Thor's sons, Magni and Modi, they find Mjolnir, the hammer. I mean, what a powerful symbol, right? It was a massive sign that the Age of Heroes wasn't over, that new legends were waiting to be made. But to forge new legends, you need legendary craftsmen. You need the master smiths. And who created the original Mjolnir? That's right, the Dark Elves. And here it is, the two halves of rebirth, working in perfect sync. You've got the light elves up in the luminous sky. Their realm is Alfheimr, and their job is weaving life itself. Their essence is that ancestral vitality.
Then you have the Dark Elves, down in the heavy earth, in the subterranean depths. Their role? Forging wonders. Their essence is pure alchemical skill. It's like one is the very breath of life, and the other is the hammer of creation. Put them together, you get the soul of the new world. So the foundations of the world are back. The light, the dark, it's all in balance. And this sets the stage for a new relationship, a new bond with humanity to be reborn. This is really a story about a covenant being renewed, a return to that ancient, deeply connected relationship between people and the spirits of the land.
Imagine being Leaf and Liftprasir. For them, the first humans in this brand new world, the elves weren't just some spooky spirits in the woods. No, they were everything. They were teachers, they were guides, they were guardians. The elves were basically the living memory of the world that was lost. They were the bridge connecting mortals to the divine. And honestly, they were the key to surviving it all.
And you can actually see this new partnership in how an old ritual, the Alf bloat, completely changed. So in the old world, it was this kind of fearful, private ritual, a desperate plea for survival, an offering to keep the spirits happy. But in the new world, it transformed. It became a joyful celebration of everything the earth provided. It was a shared feast, a party between humans and elves, a real testament to their friendship and how much they now relied on each other.
So we're getting to the heart of it now. What does the elves' survival really mean? Well, it signals this huge shift in the mythology itself. It's a move away from all the stories of war and epic destruction and towards a new kind of story, one about healing, restoration, and rebirth. It's this beautiful reminder that maybe the greatest power in the universe isn't the one that destroys, but the one that creates. Yeah, their reemergence wasn't some loud, dramatic event with thunder and lightning. It was more like a subtle infusion of magic, a quiet whisper that brought everything back. Their power wasn't a raging firestorm, it was like a gentle rain, soaking into the dry soil and just bringing the world back to life. They really are the quiet, constant heartbeat of the cosmos, a silent song of creation that, it turns out, can never truly be silenced. So you see, in the end, the elves didn't just survive Ragnarok, they became the very soul of the world that followed. They weren't just survivors, you could almost say they were the true victors, because they understood a fundamental truth. The end is never really the end. It's always, always just a new beginning. And it's their quiet magic, their tireless work that makes that new beginning possible. They are that whisper of hope you hear in the silence after the storm. They are the first tiny green shoot, pushing its way up through the ashes of the old world.